The Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio, nature's mathematical blueprint and its profound connection to reality. The Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio are two mathematical principles that have captivated minds for centuries. From the ancient Greeks to contemporary scientists, these patterns have been recognized as keys to understanding the deeper structures of nature and reality. Whether we look at the spirals of galaxies, the growth of plants, or even the proportions of the human body, these mathematical phenomena seem to be universal codes governing the physical world. Let's explore the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, how they appear in nature and the profound ways they connect to our existence and daily lives. The Fibonacci sequence, a mathematical marvel. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, starting with 0 and 1. Thus, the sequence goes 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. While this progression may appear simple, its significance becomes clear when we explore its presence in the natural world. The sequence was named after Italian mathematician Leonardo Fibonacci, who introduced it to the Western world in the 13th century in his book Liber Abaci. However, the sequence had been known in India centuries earlier. Fibonacci originally used it to model the growth of rabbit populations under ideal conditions, but the sequence is much more than a mathematical curiosity, it's a blueprint for nature. The golden ratio, aesthetic harmony in numbers. Closely related to the Fibonacci sequence is the golden ratio, denoted by the Greek letter phi, which is approximately 1.618. It is the ratio obtained when you divide a line into two parts so that the ratio of the longer part to the shorter part is the same as the ratio of the whole line to the longer part. Mathematically, as the Fibonacci sequence progresses, the ratio between consecutive numbers approaches the golden ratio. For instance, 13/8 is almost equal to 1.625 and 21/13 is almost equal to 1.615. As the numbers increase, this ratio converges on 1.618. This connection links the sequence and the golden ratio, allowing both to reveal deep, intrinsic structures of reality. Fibonacci sequence in nature. The Fibonacci sequence isn't just a mathematical abstraction, it manifests itself repeatedly in the natural world. Some of the most common examples include 1. Flower petals and seed arrangements. Many flowers exhibit a Fibonacci pattern in their petals. For example, lilies have 3 petals, buttercups have 5, daisies commonly have 34, 55 or 89. This isn't a coincidence. Plants follow the Fibonacci sequence because it offers the most efficient way to distribute seeds or petals, ensuring optimal exposure to sunlight and nutrients. The arrangement of seeds in a sunflower is another beautiful illustration of the Fibonacci sequence in action. The seeds form spirals in both directions, and the number of spirals often corresponds to 2 consecutive Fibonacci numbers. 2. Pine cones and pineapples. The spirals in the scales of pine cones and pineapples also follow Fibonacci numbers. When you count the spirals running in opposite directions, you will often find Fibonacci pairs, such as 8 and 13 or 5 and 8. This arrangement allows these plants to pack seeds, scales, or leaves in the most efficient way possible, maximizing space and exposure. 3. Spiral galaxies. Even on a cosmic scale, the Fibonacci sequence appears. Spiral galaxies, such as the Milky Way, follow a logarithmic spiral, and the shape of these spirals can be described using the golden ratio. This suggests that the same principles governing seed arrangement and flower petal distribution also apply to the structure of galaxies. 4. Shells and nautilus spirals. Perhaps one of the most famous examples of the Fibonacci sequence in nature is the nautilus shell, which grows in a logarithmic spiral. Each new chamber of the nautilus shell is proportionate to the previous one, and its growth follows the Fibonacci progression. This isn't just an aesthetic feature, it reflects an underlying efficiency in how the shell grows and develops. The golden ratio in nature. While the Fibonacci sequence points to growth patterns, the golden ratio governs the proportions of forms found in nature. Its presence can be observed in everything from the human body to the structures of animals and plants. 1. The human body. The human body exhibits numerous instances of the golden ratio. For example, The ratio of the length of your forearm to the length of your hand is often close to 1.618. The same ratio appears in the proportions of your fingers, your face, and even the placement of facial features like the distance between the eyes and the mouth. Renaissance artists like Leonardo da Vinci famously used the golden ratio in their works to create harmonious and proportionate figures, as seen in Vitruvian Man 2. Animal bodies. The golden ratio also appears in the animal kingdom. The bodies of dolphins, ants, and even the flight patterns of certain birds follow golden ratio proportions. These harmonious ratios enable animals to move, hunt, and grow efficiently. 3. The structure of DNA. At the molecular level, the dimensions of DNA, the molecule that carries genetic instructions, are also related to the golden ratio. The molecule measures 21 angstroms in width and 34 angstroms in length for each full cycle of its double helix spiral, numbers that are consecutive in the Fibonacci sequence. This suggests that even at the level of life's building blocks, nature adheres to these proportions. Fibonacci and the golden ratio in our reality and daily lives. The Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio are not just abstract concepts, they have real implications for how we perceive and interact with the world. They are embedded in our daily lives, influencing everything from architecture and art to financial markets and even the way we make decisions. 1. Art and architecture. Since ancient times, the golden ratio has been used to design aesthetically pleasing works of art and architecture. The Parthenon in Greece, the pyramids of Egypt, and even modern buildings like the United Nations headquarters all incorporate the golden ratio into their design. Artists like Michelangelo and Salvador Dali used it to create balance and harmony in their paintings. By understanding these principles, architects and designers continue to create spaces that feel intrinsically right to the human eye. 2. Music and sound. Music also follows the principles of Fibonacci and the golden ratio. The structure of musical compositions, including timing and chord progressions, often adheres to these proportions. For instance, the spacing of frets on a guitar is based on the golden ratio and Fibonacci sequences and can be found in the scales of music, influencing the intervals between notes. 3. Financial markets. Traders and analysts often use Fibonacci retracement levels to predict market behavior. This tool is based on the idea that markets will retrace a predictable portion of a move, based on the Fibonacci sequence. These retracement levels, 23.6%, 38.2%, 50%, 61.8%, and 100%, help analysts determine when to enter or exit a trade, as prices tend to reverse at these levels. 4. Decision-making and human behavior. Even our decision-making processes are influenced by patterns similar to those found in the Fibonacci sequence. Studies have shown that humans tend to follow logarithmic spirals when making eye movements and scanning objects. Our brains are hardwired to recognize patterns, and we are naturally drawn to the proportions found in the golden ratio. This helps explain why we perceive certain designs, faces, and landscapes as more beautiful or harmonious than others. Fibonacci, the golden ratio, and spirituality. Beyond the physical world, the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio have profound implications for our understanding of existence and reality. Many spiritual traditions recognize these patterns as evidence of a deeper, divine order governing the universe. Sacred geometry, a field that explores the relationship between geometry and spiritual consciousness, often uses the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio to explain the connection between the material and metaphysical worlds. In many ways, the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio provide a bridge between science and spirituality. They reveal a hidden order in the universe that transcends chaos and randomness, suggesting that everything, from the growth of a tree to the structure of the cosmos, follows a purposeful design. The Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio as universal laws. The Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio are not merely mathematical curiosities, they are universal laws that govern the structure and behavior of the natural world. From the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower to the proportions of the human body, these patterns are present in all aspects of existence. They influence art, architecture, music, and even financial markets, providing a blueprint for harmony, beauty, and efficiency in our daily lives. More than just numbers, these mathematical principles offer profound insights into the nature of reality itself. By understanding and embracing the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio, we gain a deeper appreciation of the interconnectedness of all things, recognizing that the same forces shaping galaxies are at work within us, guiding our growth, decisions, and evolution. In essence, the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio remind us that the universe is not random, but governed by patterns of order, beauty, and meaning that resonate through every aspect of existence, from the smallest molecule to the vastness of the cosmos.